Hello everyone, so let's continue with the Stata commands of describing data. So in this video I'm going to focus on describing data uh, numerically, which is part 2 of the describing data videos. So let's use the auto data set, which is available online on when you type this link. Okay. So you get the data set here, which has information on the price of the car, miles per gallon, the make of the car, whether the car is a foreign car or made in the US, the weight of the car, the length, the trunk size, and so on. So let's try by a simple way of getting the mean of more than one variable. So the command, which is called tab stat, would allow you to compute the mean of the variables. So let's say I chose 3 variables here, mile per gallon, length of the car, the weight of the car, and I'm using the tab stat command. And this one is telling me that the mean of the mile per gallons of the data set I have is 21 point about 30 miles per gallon with the length of 187.93 and a weight of about 3019.5. We can add more details to this command. So whenever you have um, uh, whenever you need additional details, you can add options. So the option, you add a comma and then you add statistics. We already have the mean, but we want to add the median, the standard deviation, the number of observations, and the coefficient of variation for each variable. So when you run this command or this detailed command, you will get all the statistics that you just listed in between brackets as option. Of course, you can delete. Let's say you can delete these and you keep the mean, or you can remove the mean and delete the median as well, and you keep like only 3 to be reported, and so on. So you can you're free to report any statistics you want. Okay, so yeah, I have already added the coefficient of variation. So let me just remove it from here so that we can have a step by step. Here we're adding the coefficient of variation. If you do it without the coefficient of variation, then you would get like a table with just up to the number of counts, and this one is not there because it's not between the bracket. Okay, what else? So you can have it like more specific. In other words, you want to have this table classified by whether the car is made in the US or made outside the US. So you're adding another option which is called by foreign, where foreign is a dummy variable that takes 1 if the car is made outside the US and 0 otherwise. So when you do so, you add this by foreign option, you will get it more detailed, right? So this part, which is total, is the one that we had already before, right? Which is this one. This is the total. But then now we did also classify it between domestic cars and foreign cars. And this one is telling us that in this data set, we have for the mile per gallon, we have the mean as 19. For domestic cars, we have the median is 19. This is 19.8, let's say 20, and this is the median as 19. We had a standard deviation for the domestic cars as 4.74 approximately, 52 for the number of observations, right? And 0.23 is a coefficient of variation for domestic miles per gallon or domestic cars mile per gallon. Notice that if you add this number of observation to this number of observation, you get the total number of observations, whether they are foreign or domestic cars. And you can do the same for the other variables. So you can get like a question, what is the mean of the variable length for foreign cars? So 168.55 is the mean of the variable length for foreign cars, okay? And the length is in inches, so you would say 168.55 inches, okay? Make sure that you answer complete answer. Okay, what else? What about if you want to compute an arithmetic mean for temperatures? Okay, so let's get this data here. I don't have it here, so have it here. Where is the yeah, it's right here. So I'm going to clear, let me get it again, and use this data for the temperature. It seems that I forgot to add it. So using a variable temperature July, okay, and then we are going to clear, get the data online. I want to tell you, like, you can clear it here or here, so maybe I can remove it from here, okay, since I already listed it. You don't have to repeat it. And then you get the data, you clear and you get the data. Okay, so you have here the temperature, which is different cities, right? Northeast, different regions, right? The heat temperature in degrees, the cold temperature in degrees, the average Jan temperature, the average July temperature, okay? And you have here the string variable division, which is listing which division we're talking about. Now, suppose that I'm going to use this data set, okay, in order to get the arithmetic, geometric, and harmonic means of the variable temperature July. So the command that you need to use is called a means, okay? So a means temperature in Jan, temperature in July. You can have it only for one variable by deleting this one. So let's see, for the two variables, you're getting the different types of means, arithmetic means, right? The geometric means, the harmonic means, with the confidence interval for each, with the number of observations. So you can get a question like, for example, what is the geometric mean of temperature in July? So the answer would be 32.74 Fahrenheit. What is the arithmetic mean for temperature in July? So the arithmetic mean is 75.05 Fahrenheit. Okay, so this is a command for getting the arithmetic and geometric means. Now, suppose we want to compute percentiles and quintiles. Let's clear the data set and go back to the auto data set. I'm just using any random data set, so it's fine. So percentile, suppose that I want to get the percentile for the variable mile per gallon. Okay, so, and after I'm done, I want to list it, I want to see it. Okay, so I'm going to list the variable that I had created, which is called PCT. You can call it anything, PCT, okay, for each percentile from 1 to 10. And then let's do that. So this one is telling me that this is the mile per gallon, right? On the 30% percentile, okay? So on the 30th percentile, we have 18 miles per gallon. On the 70th percentile, we have 24 miles per gallon. Okay, this is how you read it. You can actually make it easier to read by adding the percentiles to this table so that you can make it easier to read. Instead of saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, you can add actually the percent. So let's do it again. So that's why I'm dropping the PCT from here, so that I don't want to Stata to tell me that the variable is already created. Okay, so I'm going to drop it, and then I'm going to create it again, or recreate it. Okay, again, MPG, I want to have it like in percentiles, and I want to generate a variable called percent that would have all the percentage. Okay, so I'm going to have it here, and then I want to list it. Remember, you want to list it. So here I had only listing PCT. Now I'm listing the two variables, percent and PCT. Okay, so now I can get a table which is much easier to read. So if I'm getting a question, what is the miles per gallon on the 40th percentile? So it's 19. On the 70th percentile is 24. So it's just, you make your life easier in terms of reading the corresponding percentages. What else you can do? I'm not sure I showed you this before. So summarize MPG detail. Yeah, I showed you in the previous video, so when I was talking about kurtosis and skewness, but just notice that you can get also other information or other statistical information, right, about the percentiles, and then the smallest number on this percentile, and so on.